probably just type this in on YouTube, DJ space Escape Row live stream, and you should be able to see it.
So go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
And type DJ Escape.
Escape live stream.
And then live, and then forward slash live stream.
No, just space live space stream.
Live space stream.
Yep. Music public.
Live space stream. Okay. All right, let me do that. I'm gonna do that on another computer.
Okay.
So I can, look at it instead of my little iPhone. All right, thanks. I'm logging off.
All right, sure. All right, bye.
You're acting like a robot these days. No emotions, no smile on your face. I reach for your hand, but I can't feel the flesh. I'm losing you, there's nothing left. Smile on your face. I reach for your hand, but I can't feel the flesh. I'm losing you, there's nothing left. Yeah. You're not the same anymore. You're not the same anymore.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a problem.
You're not the same anymore. You're not the same anymore.
No, it won't actually. No, don't want to cut it there. I want to cut it there. No, not there either. Maybe here. Yeah, that'll work.
You're not the same anymore. You're not the same anymore.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Too much.
You're not the same anymore. You're not the same anymore. There's something missing from behind.
Okay. So we're gonna move this over because we don't want it to overlap too much.
You're not the same anymore.
Yeah, but we don't want it to just clip in like that either. So we're going to just do a little bit of an overlap.
You're not the same anymore.
Yeah.
You're not the same anymore. There's something missing from behind. You're not the same anymore. There's something missing from. You're not the same anymore. There's something missing from.
What is the
Missing from. Missing from. They're missing from. There's something missing. There's something missing from behind your eyes. There's something missing from behind. There's something missing from.
This one is gonna be hard. Maybe move this over.
There's something missing from behind your eyes. There's something missing from behind your eyes. There's something missing from behind. There's something missing from behind your eyes. I barely recognize you.
Oh, beyond that point, it's actually kind of on. Yo, this girl, she did not play on beat. Oh my gosh, she didn't tap at all. Like something.
There's something missing from behind your eyes. There's something missing from behind your eyes. There's something missing from behind your eyes.
Okay, because if my processor is being used by other things, then like while I'm making music, it's gonna lag and it's gonna sound like it's gonna be very difficult for me to work. So
Been sitting here at dinner for a while. You've been on your phone.
yeah, on my computer. Oh my gosh, it keeps unlocking to that position. I don't want that. There we go. Okay. And we are going to go ahead and move this over.
Been sitting here at dinner.
What's the what? It's at 150, but I'm gonna change it later, cause I'm just used to 150. That's what my tracks are produced on. Yeah, you didn't notice? No, that's 150. I was gonna do something. Oh, I need to change this one. So right now, what I'm doing is I am doing the vocals. Like as I said before, I am like changing up the vocals. I want to say pattern, so that it basically matches the BPM. So like this is the original when you try and sync it up with, or when you try and like listen to it with the. Well, actually, okay. So let's do this one first. No, he didn't do this. So this is
Surrounded,
this is the original.
surrounded by the heat,
And
but
you'll
it's
hear it in a
cold right
second.
here.
And it's all, oh my gosh, it's so slow. If you hear it,
Surrounded by
huh? Like 70 something? Yeah. It's, it tells me here. Yeah, 74.412. And that's a rough estimate. But, yeah, it's way too slow. So from this point, I basically took it and I upped the BPM, and I use a technique. With what's it called? Resampling it. Basically, I change the time here, and then I use a type of sampling format, I guess you could call it. There's a bunch of different ones, and I chose E3 generic. E3 generic is basically something that can be used overall, but it won't sound the best in every situation. So if you're doing more of like bass stuff, then you should be doing mono. But I mean, it, this is more vocals and just the piano. So I chose E3 generic. I would have chosen speech if it were a clean vocal, because that would have given me the best vocals. It would have sounded like the cleanest. It would have sounded, not like, there are certain times where you could kind of hear it do this weird thing. I don't know how to describe it, but it's because it's not set to speech. And remember, this is kind of set for FL Studio. I know all DAWs have something like this. I'm just not sure what it is for Ableton. So I basically sped it up to a point where I felt I can work with it. So you can tell that there's a huge difference between
surrounded by the heat, but it's cold right here.
this and
You're not the
this.
same anymore.
Yeah, I have it set to do that. I could have it set to do a region of a screen, but yeah, I could show you Ableton if I like I said, if I had it, but I don't. So, but once you send me the thing, But yeah. So basically, once I got to this point and I sped it up to a point where I was like, okay, I could work with this, and it semi-matched the BPM. If you listen to it, it kind of matches it. So
You're not the same anymore.
it's still very off. What was that? Yeah, I'm still using 150. And like I said, that's just because what I'm used to working with. If I feel the track is, too fast paced or whatever for the vocals, which it probably won't be, but if it is, then I'll bump it down to 140, 130. It depends. But that's, well, we'll see. All of my tracks are at 150 or 155. Except for that one that I did that was 160, which was weird. That was fast. But yeah, most of my tracks are at, not most. Yeah, all of them basically are at 150. And I don't know why it doesn't sound like it is. It sounds slower than it actually is. Like if you think about it in terms of, how many beats are actually happening at once, but or not at once, within a given period of time, but that's just what works for me, and that's just the rhythm that I'm used to. And it adds more energy, in my opinion. It adds more, because it adds more speed. It makes you feel more energetic. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. But
Sitting here dinner for a while.
right now,
Been sitting here dinner for a while. You've been on your phone the whole time.
see, okay, so basically what I'm doing right now is I'm listening for offbeats. So I'm listening for, for times where it's not right. And because this is a clean way, or this is a pretty clean waveform, it's easier for me to spot them. Spot these, like, these, the aberrations, because I can tell when she's hitting the piano notes or when she's singing, because there's no other sounds after the piano and the singing. So as you can tell right here, this is off, and you'll see it in a second, but it's off. So wait, you see me what? Are you serious? Oh my gosh, that's so far behind. Yeah, like that was like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, try moving the thing over. Yeah, try moving like the little dot on the bottom over if it's not like all the way to the right. Yeah, like if there's like a dot there, which there should be on the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, you should be. Yeah, so you must have moved it by accident. Yeah. Yeah. So right now I'm basically trying to fill in the gaps. And I don't know if you could see, but I'm basically trying to fill in the blanks that pop up with me like chopping the vocals like this, with the piano's reverb, or the piano's decay, I guess you could call it. It's basically the same thing. I'm basically trying to fill that in. So yeah, see, like this, it looks like a singular waveform once I finish, and you'll see it in a second. But yeah, so I'm trying not to leave any blank spaces there.
Been sitting here at dinner for a while. You've been on your phone the whole time.
Each time I make a change, I listen to it and I make sure that it sounds clean, and if it doesn't, then I'll go back and edit it.
On the whole time. Surrounded by the heat.
You don't hear. What do you mean? Oh, so you're only able to hear. Oh, wait, I think I know why, actually. Hold on. Record system sounds, no. Speakers record, I think. No. I mean, that should be right. Realtek Digital. No, that's not it. Hold on. Recording. No, not recording devices. I need to go to playback. And, oh, my phone vibrated on my head.
On the whole time. Surrounded by the heat, but it's all right.
Playing. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it should be recording it. I don't know. Hold on, let me see.
On the whole time.
Be recording it. I don't know. Hold on, let me see.
On the whole time.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm able to hear myself. I'm able to hear the music at least. Um, and you're sure your volume's up? Um, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, listen to my voice. Yeah, that's fine, but but I mean the music that goes with it, that's also kind of important. So, but I don't know. Well, we'll try and work with something. But yeah, so I am almost done. I chopped a decent amount of vocals. So I'm going to basically try and work with the vocals that I chopped, and I basically chopped 4 different parts. I chopped the first verse, and then I don't know what I would call this part.
There's something missing from behind your
eyes. I don't know. Would that be? Would that still be the verse? I'm not even sure.
You're acting like a
The part where she says
you're not the same.
You're not the same anymore. There's something missing from behind your eyes. Yeah. It's the same. Okay, yeah. So I basically chopped the first verse. I took that. I split that in half. And then I got the bridge. And then I got the so the chorus. And then I'm basically gonna work with that. And if I need any more parts, then I can just take it from the audio. Or from the sample.
You're not the same.
I know I got this.
You're not the same.
Oh, I guess I didn't sample this. What? Alright, I've got to sample this. What do you mean? Oh my gosh. Move the thing over or refresh the stream. Refresh the stream. So like close out of it and reopen it. Yeah, it doesn't even say that you're watching anymore.
This is a powerful software, but I can see it doesn't work 100%. Did you get my hello message? No.
What on? Yeah, I did. I saw it.
You got it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it takes a couple of seconds. Alright.
No, chat is instant. It's just the video.
You're not the same.
Wow, that's 150. I feel like it's Back to the Future, man.
You're not the same.
We had like 15 minutes ago.
You're not the same anymore. There's something missing from behind.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm going to record.
You're not the same anymore. There's something missing from behind your eyes. I barely recognize you.
Okay.
You're not.
And we are going to go ahead and cut off that white space. I mean, what I'm doing right now with the vocals doesn't really matter too much. So that's the reason why I'm still kind of going ahead, because I like this is like I still have so much work to do before this thing is even considered anywhere near done. So,
Been sitting here at dinner for a while. You've been on your phone the whole time. Surrounded by the heat, but it's cold right here. Listen for your heartbeat, but I can't hear.
This is a completely different way of doing music, man.
oh, I don't like that. Yeah, it is, and it's gonna take getting used to, but you'll get it.
But you never get a feel for the song.
What do you mean?
When you're making it, because your fingers are not hitting the keys. You can't add feelings to it. You can't add touch.
I
It looks like what you're doing is like you're choosing notes, and that's it.
I guess. I mean, that's one argument that people make about the music that, that's made nowadays, but I don't know. When I make my music, I feel it. I mean, hell, the last track I made was called Feel It. Like I feel my music and I enjoy making it, so I enjoy the the way I make it. So
From a player's perspective, like the touch, you know how, hey, it's like saying, hey, I can touch you. Yeah, you can touch someone, but there are different kinds of touch.
yeah, I know.
Sitting here at dinner for a while. You've been on your phone the whole time. Surrounded by the heat, but it's cold right here.
No,
Listen for
you can't say all EDM because there are EDM artists that use the keyboard. There are actually a lot of them.
So, okay.
It's just
If you're doing it this way, there's really no way to add touch, per se.
not necessarily. There are ways to do it. It's more difficult. When you say touch, I'm guessing you're talking about like
A lot with the keys, that you hit the keys.
the what?
Like, if you want, you can hit the pads and hit the same notes, but you can come, with it abruptly, or you can come.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. You could do that with the software.
Huh?
Yeah, you could do that with the software. You could do that digitally. I mean, it's not gonna be like the exact same unless you're really, really, really good. But yeah, you could still do it.
That's interesting, huh? So, shit, this fucking will not let me go past 10:30.
Been sitting here at dinner for a while. You've been on your phone the whole time. Surrounded by the heat, but it's cold right here. Listen for your heartbeat, but I can't hear.
You know what it feels like? It feels like I'm going right back to the whole thing.
Well, at least you're able to hear it now.
I think this is stuff you did right from the beginning. Is it?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. Hold on. Tell me what I'm doing right now, or tell me what you see me doing.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I think this is more current. Yeah. Tell me what am I doing right now. Now you've got this round square that you're
Yep.
messing with.
Yeah, I'm just moving it around. Yeah, then that's good. You're fine.
Yeah.
Been sitting here at dinner.
All right, so I'm going to record these.
Let me ask you this. How do I cancel the sound? Oh, yeah, okay, that's cool.
Been sitting here at dinner for a while. You've been on your phone the whole time. Surrounded by the heat, but it's cold right here. I'm listening for your heartbeat, but I can't hear it. Been sitting here at dinner for a while.
Crap.
You've been on your phone.
Wait, 150 will not work.
Been sitting here at dinner for a while. You've been on your phone the whole time. Surrounded by the heat, but it's cold right here. I'm listening for your heartbeat, but I can't hear it. Been
I've dealt with vocals that are slower than this. I'll make it work. It really depends. Like, it's more of like an aftertouch thing. It's like, it's more, yeah, it's just more of something that I would change like after the fact, like after I finish most of the things, because it kind of depends on the rest of the track, you know what I mean? So
This thing looks more like a science project than music. God! You throw a whole bunch of weight!
Well, I don't need these anymore. So now I have my completed synced vocals, and I will play them each on a measure, and we can see them like this. And maybe I will take this and move this over here.
You're not the same anymore. Been sitting here at dinner for a while. You've been on your phone the whole time, surrounded by the heat, but it's cold right here. I'm listening for your heartbeat, but I can't hear it.
Her voice clipped a little bit in this one.
You're not the same anymore. There's something missing from behind your eyes. I barely recognize you. You're acting like a robot these days. No emotions, no smile on your face. I reach for your hand, but I can't feel the flesh. I'm losing you, there's nothing left. You're so robotic, robotic, robotic. You're so robotic, robotic, robotic. You're so robotic, robotic, robotic. You're so robotic, robotic, robotic.
I can't wait to hear what I do with it either. To be honest, every single track is kind of an adventure for me.
You're so robotic, robotic, robotic. You're so robotic. So
this is the way a hardstyle kicks look, by the way. And it probably looks kind of crazy to you, but yeah. That's the way a hardstyle kick looks. Hard style. I always edit it like at least a little bit for that specific track, as I told you before, so it'll sound more clean, like, you know, for that specific track. Right now I'm playing, so I have an idea of what it'll sound like. Do this. I don't know about that, but I'll move this over because that's basically what it will be. Okay, now it's time for creative stuff. What am I gonna do? What was that?
You don't need quantize. Everything's always perfect with this thing.
Nope. That's the reason why we use it, because it's everything is kind of organized. Like when, like her thing, I had to do so much chopping because it wasn't on beat. Like it was on beat with what she was with, like her piano playing. Her singing was on beat with her piano playing, but her piano playing wasn't at a specific BPM. It kept on shifting. So, and that's obvious. You know, it's obviously gonna happen. It's human error. It still sounds good to us. Yeah, it still sounds good to us, but you know, like if you think about it, or if you like actually listen to it or look at it, it's offbeat, like just slightly every single time. But
so humans, we think it's on beat, but in actuality, it's off by a little bit.
yeah, that's usually the case. Digital music now, like, you know, like now that things are becoming more digital, it's starting to go away because, you know, the producer would just go in after the fact and, you know, make everything in sync, make everything work. But for, you know, if you're doing like a live recording, or if you're, you know, playing on stage, almost 100% of the time you're not on beat. Like, it's off by at least a little bit. And that's just human error. You know, I mean, we can't do everything perfectly. We're not robots. So we have computers do everything perfect for us.
So robotic, robotic, robotic. You're so robotic, robotic, robotic.
Okay. Let's make a melody. I'll show you how synths work. Okay, so we have this synth, and I'm going to go ahead and put that to a track. I'm going to call this track Lead. What happened there? That's not Nell. There we go. And I'll change the color too, because I like colors. And we'll add a little bit of EQ the highs, get rid of the lows. And I'll explain to you what this basically does. So basically right now I'm creating a lead, and leads are supposed to be the high parts, and you know, the parts that have the most energy and drive. So
That's what you're doing right now.
that's what I'm about to do. Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna explain what that graph was. So basically, what I just brought up was an equalizer. And what that's used for is basically either peaking or lowering frequencies, like specific frequencies. So it basically brings out what you want in that specific sound. So when you're making leads, they are mostly mids and highs. And there's barely, if not any, bass. So what I did was I removed all of the... Here, let me bring it up so you can see it. But what I did was everything below like 200 hertz is bass frequencies. And some might argue it's like 150, you know, some might argue it's 100. That's where the real bass starts. It really varies, because some people consider like 150 to like I don't know, like 300, 400 to be the low mids. That's more in depth. I won't even go into that. But basically, I cut off all the bass frequency right here with this very, very steep slope. And that basically just gets rid of all the bass inside of the synth. And then over here, I raised some of the high frequencies, and actually I raised it in the wrong spot. It should be around 2,000 hertz. 2,000 hertz is kind of the sweet spot for leads. That's where the brightness comes out. Not only 200 hertz, but 2,000 hertz, but especially in the higher frequencies, like here, 14,000, like around there. If you bring out those frequencies, that makes it sound very bright. What was that?
Wow, 14,000 you said?
Yeah, 14,000. So also, our ears obviously can't hear anything over 20,000 hertz. So, or it becomes very difficult for us to hear it after 20,000 hertz. So there's no point in having those frequencies in the leads, obviously. So usually we just cut that out, because that's taking up reverb, that's taking up distortion, that's taking up like a bunch of effects that could be allocated to where we need it, and is putting it there. Do you understand what I mean? So it's basically wasted space. So we usually get rid of that. So I'm done with that for now. I'm gonna come back to the mixer later.
What's the purple?
The purple line.
Yeah, the purple. It's like everything. Oh, maybe I'm looking at things.
No, I see what you mean. You're talking about if you're talking about the purple line, then yes, that's
Yeah.
what that is that's basically I don't know how to describe it. That's basically the flat line, I guess, of music. That's where that's 0 decibels in music sense. And 0 decibels in music sense comparing to like, you know, actual sound sense, they're different, because 0 decibels in actual sound would be nothing. But in music, that's basically the main threshold. That's where you kind of want to be with your sounds. You don't really want to go above like 3 decibels. It just won't. After that point, after 3 decibels, then things start to clip, which is basically when your waveforms become louder than what the sound can actually produce. So it basically starts making the waveform flat on the top and on the bottom. So wherever that the waveform starts to go past that threshold, it basically flattens it. So that creates a type of distortion that actually can be used in a technique to actually give you a specific sound, but normally you wouldn't want to do that because it makes it sound kind of muddy and kind of dirty, and it doesn't really work too well. So you normally want to steer away from clipping, at least until you understand what it does. So yeah.
So EDM guys, how do you? It's like understanding a language.
Yeah, kinda. So I have presets here, but I'm like the stuff that I made. This entire folder that you're about to see. This is all stuff that I've made, and there's more, but I put them in different spots. I would use them. You know what? I'll show you an example of something.
Sure. I see a scream.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Screams. My screams are crazy.
You're going into a microphone and screaming?
No. I'll show you what it is. It's an example of what you can do with nope, I went into the wrong one. It's an example of what you can do with a synth. So I'll show you this one. This is my most recent one, and this one sounds really it's something else. It sounds really grimy, sounds really dirty. But that's used in a specific type of music that there's also let's go with this one. Yeah, like there's stuff like that. I have my terror saw. There's this one. Oh, this one is that one is something else. I actually made this with another producer. What?
That last one screech.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where you use that. This one. That sounds noisy.
Yeah, that is noisy. It's more. I use it for background noise. And then I have a bunch of leads like this, and I'll basically show you the structure of like I guess you could say the way that I made it.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, this. Yeah, I like this one too. So with this one, first we'll start off over here, because usually with synths you start off with, obviously the waveforms, and then you build off of that. So I started off with a saw, I started off with another saw, and then I started editing them from there. I raised the amount of voices, which in this sense means the amount of waves that you're going to be playing at the same time. So this is playing 8 voices, which means it's playing 8 waves of a saw wave. Yeah, that's basically it. So it's playing 8 saw waves at once.
Treating it as one instrument.
Exactly, treating it as one instrument. And the detune is basically what you use to offset those things. So you start moving them apart. I mean, that's basically it. And the more you move them apart, the
Detune is disaggregating the voices?
basically, yes. It's starting to separate them apart and like make them. I don't really know how else to describe it. Like, just picture because I have 8 voices. Picture the saw wave splitting 8 times, like far away from each other, like far away from where it originally began. So it originally began as just a singular wave. When detune is down all the way, it's just really amplified. But then once you start spreading them apart with detune, it starts becoming more like the frequency basically increases, and also the positioning of the peaks and everything, they start to get like more messed up and stuff like that, and it starts creating a really dynamic and really strange sound. So that's basically what I did with all of these. So I did that. I got a sound that sounded good, and then I went over here. I lowered the octave so that it's 1 octave lower, and then I did the same thing. I moved the detune a little bit, and then I went over to part B, which is basically adding another 2, and then I raised the octave of one of them, and it's again a saw wave, and then I raise the detune more than these, which would give it more of a I don't really know how to describe it, more of a maybe I should just let you hear it. I don't know, like maybe letting you hear it would make it pop more. So first I'll play this one, oscillator A. That's basically the way it sounds. There's like filters on it and everything, so it sounds different than it would originally sound. Actually, you know what? Let me just make one. I don't know why I'm going through this. Like I should just make one. So this is how it sounds originally, and this is literally just a saw wave, and that's it. And with this, I can take this, and I'm going to turn off retrig because I don't like retrig. It bothers me. And then I'm going to raise this to maybe 6. And you could obviously tell that changes it up a lot. Like, it makes it sound a lot different. With that, I raise the detune, and watch what happens. See, so that's where you start to get your more dynamic sound, your more I guess energetic sound. That was detune.
What was that?
That was the detune. All I did with that was I raised the voices to 6, and then I raised the detune. So I made them offset each other. Mm-hmm.
And they look flat. They sound flat because they're separated.
Yeah, exactly. So if you actually, I can pull up an oscillator right now if that'll make it easier to see. Smexiscope. So I can actually detach this. Detached. There it is. Okay. So I have an oscillator over here, so you can see the waveform. It's actually going to have to be closer, isn't it? I was really hoping that didn't break this. Actually, let me save this because I don't want this thing to break. What's the song called? Robotic remix. Okay. So we have this. We have this. So when I play, let me actually zoom in. Sorry, that was probably ear piercing. Okay, so I'll raise the voices to 1, so you can see what happens. That's basically how the saw wave looks at that point. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting that. No, the music was playing, so it just did it. Got to a part where my kick started playing, and it just caught me off guard. So yeah, that. So this is that's the saw wave. That's the way it looks, you know, normal. So if you raise it more, put it up to 6, you can see it starts getting more, and it changes every time. Now, if I put on retrig, every time it would be the same. But I like turning off retrig because it makes it more dynamic, and it changes every time. I like that. It makes it sound, yeah, I don't know, it makes it sound more alive. So you can tell there's more breaks in it, right? And that gives you more of a distorted sound. Now, if you raise your detune, look at what happens to it. It starts jumping around. And that gives you that, I guess that, the best way to describe it is like energy. It's like a...
Sounds like a herd of elephants, as opposed to just one.
Basically. But, yeah, so that's basically what's happening behind the scenes. And I like turning down the stereo pot just a little bit and messing around with that. I'll turn this off. And basically from here, I would just start messing around doing that exact same formula. And I would go over here, I'd raise this. I get a sense that I like. Lower it. Raise the detune. Go to stereo. Part B. I want to pulse width this time. Basically, I keep on changing things until I find something that sounds good. I like, when my ears hear something that I like, then I keep it, you know? And I don't like that. Yeah, I can do that. Trig. And I need a high, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a saw wave, because honestly I find those to be the best when it comes to doing the high frequencies, saw waves. So I take the saw Okay, so it's at a point where I'm kind of liking the way it sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start doing things with the filter. Start messing around with the filter, move the cutoff down, move the Now we're at this point. Basically what I did with the filter is this curve right here, That's basically telling me that that it's cutting off the bass frequencies, which is what I want. I want it to cut off the bass frequencies. And that basically helps me out later on when I need to EQ, because then the EQ will have an easier time getting rid of all of the bass. So that's the reason why I did that. Cutoff basically moves where that the peak is going to begin on the graph. So let me show you on. Let me retouch it. Let me show you on this EQ. So right here, this point here, which you're gonna see in a second, obviously, this blue point here, that is the cutoff. That's where the cutoff begins. And it says frequency here, but that's really where the cutoff begins. So that's why that's there. I will move this back to 4. No, not 3. I'll move this back to 4 and mute this. And I know I'm like blasting like a ton of information on you right now. So it's probably going to be it's probably like hard to follow. Yeah. Okay, so warm drive, I like turning this on. It gives it more of a how do I describe it? Well, in technical terms, the warm drive basically, but you might not understand that. Well, I guess you don't really have to worry about that, because not all synths have it. But in this case, the warm drive makes it sound better. Bottom line. So I like putting that on, but only in some cases. Yeah, warm drive, and the drive is basically how much you're pushing the cutoff, or how much you're pushing that envelope. So if I raise this drive, well, the drive for the EQ is gain, but I can't change the gain because, I mean, it's not, this is a normal curve. This I can change the gain for. And as I said, the gain is the same thing as drive. And basically what happens when you raise it is the peak raises or it lowers. And that's basically that.
Gain is the volume, right?
Basically, it's the amplitude. You could think of it as that. So we're gonna do this. And then I'm gonna do some advanced stuff down here. You don't really have to worry about that. And maybe a little bit. And we are going to also do the cutoff here. Gonna do rate. Okay, I like it there. Okay, so the stuff that I did down here, just, I mean, you really don't have to worry about it. It's basically just adding just small, little, like very, very small little tweaks that, you know, make it sound different, you know, a little bit more dynamic. So, and you'll hear me use that word a lot. So this is the way it sounds right now. Sounds pretty cool, and obviously if you put trends and stuff like that. I'm gonna go over here and put in some distortion. I'm gonna put in some overdrive distortion. And that's gonna make it sound a little bit more aggressive. I could put some compression in the mixer. Yeah. So, I'm done with that for now. I always go back and tweak things. Actually, I'm going to raise the poly by 6. I'm always going to, like, I always go back and tweak little things and there's like multiple layers that go into actually making a full lead. But for now, that's what I'm going to work with, and that's what I'm going to create my melody off of.
You got it. Let me see.
So I'm going to bring this back. Bring back some more highs, and as I said, I was going to come back to this, and I'm coming back. Look for some frequencies that I like. I like that frequency. There's the highs. Alright, that sounds cool. And we're going to do some chorus. Basically, like EQ, as I said, it just raises certain frequencies. So it brings out certain characteristics in the synth or whatever. Yeah, whatever you're mixing, it basically brings out certain characteristics out of it. So that's why I use that. Chorus, basically think of it as adding another layer onto the sound. Like, it's basically adding that exact same waveform and playing it right on top of it, or a little bit before or after, and that's basically what chorus is. So, with that adds a little bit more character. Too much of anything is never a good thing. We're gonna lower that a little bit. So now you can hear more of that bright, energetic, like powerful synth that we want. So we're gonna go ahead and put on some reverb. Too much. Yeah. You can tell I really I can't tell you how much fun I have doing this. And there are times where I do it so much where I have to take a break. Like, I take a 3-month break, and I come back and do the same thing. I do the routine over again. I've done it before.
Why, you just need to get away from this?
Yeah, basically, because what I do is, which I shouldn't do, but I exhaust myself. Like, I produce and produce and produce and produce and produce for like a month or 2 or 3 or 4, and I just get tired of it, or I run out of ideas, or, like, I just go dry. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to take a step back, and I'm just going to, leave it for a while. And usually within that time period, I come up with ideas on the go. I come up with ideas, while I'm just sitting there on the computer, or, stuff like that. So I record them. I record myself humming them, or, doing whatever. And then I come back, and I have fresh ideas, throughout that break that I had. So. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add some delay. Delay is basically, think of it like echo. You could think of reverb as echo as well, but not really. Like, when you echo, 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 and then it gets, lower. Exactly. That's what delay is. It adds that echo to whatever you put it on. So you'll be able to hear that in a second.
I think I remember getting a delay board and a reverb board. They were two different things. The echo would repeat the sound, delay, and reverb would just give you spatial.
Right. Exactly. And that's what they both do. That's exactly what they do. So we have this. I'm going to add a filter and lower the high pass. This basically does nothing right now, but I'll explain that either later on tonight or at a later time. By the way, my phone is going to cut off in 2 minutes. So.
You're kidding.
Nope. My phone is, but the stream will still be up. I think we could. I could call you through FaceTime, but like FaceTime audio, if you want the video.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Do FaceTime audio.
Okay.
Why do you have
Yeah, it cuts off at 11:30 on the dot. You'll see.
On the that has to change. You're just
I know I'm an I know I'm an adult. I told my mom this, and she's like, okay.
But no. Who does that, Nat?
Yeah, she put it in because like in middle school and like early high school, I like would always be on my phone at night. So
Of course, I get it.
yeah,
You're in college now.
exactly. But yeah, I don't know if you can still hear me, but what did I tell you? On the dot. I'm calling you back right now. There we go. There we go.
Cool. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. So, on the dot, like I said.
Sounds like you're in a warm space. Hello?
Yeah. I'm also, like, I put my phone on my lap, too, so I'm kind of far away. And you're on speaker, so. Okay, so. Let's go over here. We're going to add some if I could speak. Compression. And basically what that's going to do is hold it's basically going to give the waveform a threshold. And once that waveform passes that threshold, it's going to bump the what's it called? The amplitude is going to bump it down so that it's below that threshold. So it basically can't pass a certain threshold. That's basically it. It can't pass a certain volume. There's also another thing that does that. But the reason why I'm using a compressor is because there's this technique that you use with a compressor and and reverb. If you put reverb and then a compressor right after it, it basically does this effect where it magnifies the reverb and it makes it sound more. The compression basically magnifies the reverb and it makes the entire sound more I don't know how to describe it. Like it basically fills in the white space a lot better. I guess that's the best way to describe it. So yeah, that's probably the way I would describe it. Yeah, it adds body to the reverb. Okay, now we're done with our synth for now. Now we go into the piano roll, and this is how I make music. So.
So
I'm going to basically come up with something. This is where the creative juices start flowing. Okay, I think I have an idea. actually. Maybe I do. What? Experience. You kind of just learn what letter makes what sound after a while. No, it's not. It takes a while. Like, it took me probably about 2 years, 3 years to get that down, but now I roughly know where the notes are. What was that? Yeah. Like, if you asked me to, like, make this, like, I guess, like, sing the note, I probably wouldn't be able to, but I'd be able to find it on the keyboard. Like, you know what I mean? Or I'd be able to find it on here. It's basically. No, I don't like that. What was that? Not random, strategically placed. Oh my gosh, I'm putting it on the wrong thing. Okay. If you play it on the same note, but an octave lower, it kind of adds more body to it. And then if you kind of create a chord. But I'm still not done, but that's basically how you begin creating chords. And there's also tools that you can use. Like, I use this up here to actually make chords. I can use, I think, strum.
How do you know how to move that? I don't get it.
How did I know how to move what?
You're moving individual keys.
Yeah. It's basically just like changing that note at that time.
But how do you know which one to add, which one to take away?
Experience. Like, after a certain period of time, you just kind of like pick up these things, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh crap, I deleted the note. Hey, but dude, does that even match? I don't even know.
So robotic, robotic, robotic. You're so robotic, robotic, robotic. So robotic, robotic, robotic. You're so robotic, robotic, robotic.
No, that's another melody. Somebody made this already. I know this for a fact. And if I keep on continuing, then you'll see what I mean. You might have heard it before.
So
But here, I'm gonna make it anyway. No, I changed it up a bit. That's all. Yeah, I don't like this. This is gonna change. I know that for a fact. Because I don't like it right now. Do I want? I want it to be higher. And this is the point where it starts to get a lot more full and a lot more bright. So basically, what I added down there was a base layer, and then what I dragged, basically what I copied was that, I stated it before the beginning of like chords. So now what I'm gonna do is. Thing for now. Oh crap, I don't want it to be full. Oh, I didn't mean to minimize it. Alright. Save this. Have a basic four, I guess you could consider them bars. 4-bar melody. There I can basically build. And I'll show you what that filter that I put in the mixer for earlier. I'm going to show you what that was for. Basically, highlighting an area basically sets it so that, anything I create can't go past that boundary, like from that point. So that's the reason why I highlighted that there. And I created an automation clip for the cutoff frequency, which basically raises the. I told you what it was before. It raises the basically the frequency, where the frequency begins. And basically with this cutoff filter, if I put this down to 0, it's basically cutting off every frequency at 0. At like that point on the bottom. So basically think of the slope of the graph being like it's literally taken over the entire graph. Like it's cut off everything. And that's basically what that means at that point. Yeah, exactly. So think of it like Exactly, and it sounds really cool too. So think of it like me doing this. Actually, no, it would be the other way. It's a low cut.
It's like you're
So
turn the volume down and slowly.
right, exactly. So it goes from here and it goes up and up and up and up, and then until you reach the the end. So I did not mean to put that in there. That is a distortion plugin. We do not need that.
So nobody.
So what I can do is I can go ahead and take this, copy this, go over here, drag this out.
So nobody. So nobody. So nobody. So nobody. So nobody. So nobody. So
claps when it comes to doing builds and snares and stuff like that, that adds a huge difference to the energy and the build up. It just makes a huge difference. Like if this weren't there,
so
I mean, it would still sound okay, but it's missing something, you know what I mean? And then, obviously at this point, mix down, which is it's basically like the I guess you could consider it the mastering of the track. It's not good. the volumes are all off and everything. So I am going to fix that. I am going to fix that actually right now. Let's go ahead and take this, and this is going to go to 3, and this is going to go to 3, and this is going to go to 3. That's 3, and we're gonna go ahead and add 3. So I add reverb to her vocals. Okay, so and then let me just add the basic kick roll so you get it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna copy this 4 times. So if you listen to the build up right that's what it is right now, and obviously the kick needs to be added to a mixer track, and then it needs to be changed a lot because it sounds okay, but it's not really. I'm gonna add this to 5.
Wow. It sounds real.
Like I said, how long has it been? It's been an hour. I usually work about 9 hours on my tracks. I like that's like nonstop work. So it's I really do right now. Yeah, it's been 2 hours already. What? Well, I have been explaining everything, so that adds time, obviously. Yeah, no problem.
I wish we did this a year ago.
I mean, I'm glad I could help. I mean, it's. What was that?
I think we should do music together because this stuff that you do, I'm new to it.
You're acting like a robot these days. no emotions, no smile on your face. I reach for your hand, but I can't feel the flesh. I'm losing you.
I don't know. It just came to my head. No, I'm not joking. No, I promise. Like, things just come to me. Like I said, it's just talent, I guess. I don't know. There's no other way to describe it. It always happens. I sit here and I make something, or I hear a vocal, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna make this. Like, something just comes to my head, and if I don't like it, then I scrap it and I come up with something else. Like, it's. See, even this, I don't know if I like it or not. Like, with the kick and everything, and with the sub bass, it sounds okay, but I don't know if I like it.
You're acting like a robot these days. No emotions, no smile on your face. I reach for you.
That's just the way she sounds. Like, that's probably the best it's gonna get. I could lower the pitch if that's what you're talking about, but lowering the pitch is, yeah, I could lower the pitch, but it's gonna sound weird. Let's see. Okay, so now, I'll fix the vocals later. So now I'm going to go ahead and let's add Nexus. This is more of a preset-based VST. It's more of something where you kind of just take stuff and it makes the sound. But you can obviously edit the. Choose quick. Okay. You could obviously change the sound of it at least a little bit with your mixers. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to a mixer. This is gonna be called pads, and we are going to go ahead and get a pad. We're going to get a dance pad. Let's see if we could find one. Let's go house. They have basses. I need PA. That's PN, PL. PL stands for Plux. PN stands for piano. What about in hardstyle? There's some pads, I think. Yeah, but they're probably gonna sound weird. Yeah, no, I don't want them. Dance orchestra, maybe? Might be in dance orchestra. If anything, I'll just make my own, but anything to make my life easier. No. I can try. I barely do dubstep. I could do trap house. I could do trap. I've done it before. Yeah. No, like I've done trap on like hardstyle, which is it's a type of house music. So yeah, I've done it before. Yeah. Wait, hold on. I need. Where the heck are? Okay, maybe gated pads. But I don't want gated pads. I just want normal ones. Yeah, no, I don't like this. Okay, so I'm going to actually choose another thing because I don't like the sounds that are on this. Let's go with Massive, and Massive takes up a lot of CPU, so this is, yeah, it takes a lot of my CPU. I'm actually gonna need, actually no, I don't want to use Massive. I'm gonna use something that takes up even more CPU, which is Spire, but Spire is very good. So, okay, so I have presets here. We're gonna go with pads. We're gonna go with no, that's not bright enough. Nah. I don't know if I want that though. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. I really don't. Whatever. Let's go with that. So we're gonna go ahead and make one PAD. This basically right here is patterns. Each one of these is a separate pattern. So that's basically what that is for. So we're gonna go ahead and go down to B. No, maybe not. Yeah, so we're gonna go with this.
You're acting like a robot these days. You're acting like a robot these days. No emotions, no smile. You're acting like a robot these days. No emotions, no smile on your face.
Yeah, that can work.
You're acting like a robot. You're acting like a
Basically. Not randomly, strategically placed, remember.
Wasn't that with your fingers? Because you know where the keys are and what they sound like. You're just taking a bar, put it here, and yet it sounds right. That's weird.
I'm actually going to use this bass just to kind of figure out what I want my sounds to be. No, actually, I can't use a bass because then it's going to sound muddy. So I'm going to use this. No, it's too much. I'm going to take, I need just a really simple one. That's not simple. Let's try this one. No, too spacey.
I like that sound, but I don't think we can use it here.
You know, I'm actually gonna just replace this with just an initial preset, just so I can get a feel for the thing. It's gonna be very difficult for you to like listen to it. It's always difficult for me to listen to it when I'm just listening to a bass wave for a long period of time. It's like pulsing.
You're acting like a robot these days. You're acting like a robot these days. You're acting like a robot these days. No emotions, no smile on your face. You're acting like a robot these days. No emotions, no smile on your face.
Okay, that sounds okay.
You're acting like a robot these days. No emotions, no smile on your face. I reach for your hand, but I can't feel the thing.
I will show you why I just did that. That was basically so I can get the notes. Most people do it with piano. I usually do it with piano, just so I can get the chords right. But I was too lazy to switch to a piano, so I worked with that. So actually, I don't use this for pads normally. I use something else, maybe T-Force Alpha. I honestly forgot what I use for pads. Pads are basically like a really like I want to say like spacey maybe. They're like used for like breaks and like they're basically there to add atmosphere to that specific part. So let's see if I can find one. Translead. These are all leads.
The old days, they used pads around the verses, definitely on the hook.
Right.
Yeah, to add the mood.
Exactly. But in music, in electronic music at least, well, in this particular type of music, not just EDM, because there are some EDM tracks that do it, but pads actually aren't used in the drop. They're actually taken out because it will wash away the kick or something like that, because there's bass in the pads, obviously. So that's another thing. Too much. What was that?
There's actually bass in the pad.
Yeah.
Some low frequency.
Right.
Voice. Okay.
So the thing is, obviously, as I said before, too much of one thing is never a good thing, and that goes for anything, especially when it comes to music. If you have too much bass, it starts to do this thing where it literally washes out every other sound, and it sounds really muddy and dirty, and and not in the good way. So again, because there's a good way to have that happen, but in this case, it's not. So you don't want that. You don't want, you obviously don't want your other sounds to be washed out. So that's why you try and reduce the amount of bass as much as possible. But obviously put it in the right spots so that it adds more character to the entire track. So that's basically that. No, this is a sidechain. I don't need sidechain. I don't use T-Force Alpha. Why? I can't find the thing that I normally use for pads. What the hell?
You don't use T-Force a lot?
I do, not too often. Not for pads. I'm gonna go back to Nexus because I can't seem to find anything. So we're gonna go ahead and go down to. We're gonna go down to Epic Pads. That's what it is, actually. That does not sound good. I don't like that. No. No. Nope. Actually, I should really raise this because this is all in like a really low thing. I need to raise it up to B. I'll go to B5. Ah, damn it. It broke. Alright, I'm gonna need to reopen it now.
What do you mean by it broke?
You'll see. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm gonna have to replace this with something else and then bring back Nexus.
Oh, that's what I just saw?
Yeah.
Right.
That notification. I say it broke, but like
You're acting like a robot these days. No motion is no smile on your face. I reach for your hand.
I actually don't like that. That doesn't sound.
You're acting like a robot these days. No motion is no.
I don't like this last note. This last note isn't right.
You're acting like a robot these days. No motion is no.
What was that?
He was talking about something that would animate roboticism, or something that sound like digital or robotic.
Oh, yeah, I could do that. Don't worry about that. That'll come.
It's a robotic. There's nothing robotic about the song. I'm like, well, you need to communicate that to your
Yeah.
You're acting like a robot these days. No motions. You're acting like a robot these days. No motions, no smile. You're acting like a robot these days. No motions, no smile on your face. You're acting like a robot these days. No motions, no smile on your face. You're acting like a robot these days. No motions, no smile on your face. I reach for your head. You're acting like a robot these days. No motions, no smile on your face. I reach for your head, but I can't feel the flesh. I'm losing you. There's nothing left. You're so robotic, robotic, robotic. You're so robotic, robotic, robotic.
So basic pad. Normally I would add another one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add another one. And then I do this, and then after that I basically record it, and then I delete the VSTs because too many of these things can actually really lag my system. So I